Hey, what's up? This is Joel, and you're watching a review on Renegade Transit Authority skateboards. I've skated 5 of them. They're actually my board sponsor. But I'm going to start this off with something real quick, a little announcement about RTA currently. Right now they do not have decks, and we're not too sure when they'll be able to get decks in because of some I'm just going to keep it brief. Communication problems, I guess you could say. But anyways, I'm going to get into this review. But until they can get decks in, I'm kind of stuck buying decks. It's back to the old ways. But anyhow, into this review. These decks were made by the 5 I've skated. They were made by South Central Distribution in Alabama, and the mold that these decks are made in, the press, was all over medium shape, medium kick, medium concave, medium rocker, just all over medium. But even though a group of decks may be made in the same mold, some of them might come out a little bit different. 3 of these were to basically the mold standards, how the deck is going to come out typically from the mold. 2 of them came out a little bit different, and I'll show you those 2 to start this off. That came out a little different. These 2. This one right here is a little bit mellower than how it was supposed to be. It has a mellower concave and a little bit of a mellower kick, but it still has that medium rocker. Can never go wrong with a medium rocker. This one was my favorite out of the 5. It's 8.3. It held up really nicely. I landed pretty bad on the nose. It didn't even snap or anything. Or even crack, or even pressure crack for that matter. Really good quality. It did chip up quite a bit. But I skated this deck for, I don't know, like 4 or 5 weeks. And for that period of time, it held up pretty well. Of course, it got all razored out because a few of those weeks were on the driveway, and my driveway just chews through decks and wheels. Now this one that came out a little bit different. This one has a higher kick and a deeper concave, even though it came from the same mold. This one held up pretty well. I skated this one for like 3 weeks. A mixture of driveway and park skating. From the driveway, of course, I got a bunch of razor tail. This one actually cracked pretty bad on the nose, but it was not from me. It was from one of my friends who is much larger than I am. He borrowed it for a day, and he cracked it, so he was just like, oh, here, you can have it back, and I'm sorry about that. And I was like, oh, it's alright, I already skated, I already got my use out of it and stuff. So, yeah. But, that's basically how it is. And this one right here, this one didn't hold up, it held up pretty good for the first 4 weeks. I skated this one in the wintertime at Wedgwood pretty much. So there's like no razor tail because the floor at Wedgwood is super smooth. But it did chip a lot, which I kind of expected because I skated this deck for like about 7 weeks. And usually at the 4-week mark, the board will just naturally deteriorate. And it'll just start chipping, the plies will start splitting. That's just something that naturally happens after 4 weeks for me. There's really no preventing it. Even if the deck is of really good quality like this one is, it's still going to do that on me. This one came out how it's supposed to come out of the mold. It has a medium concave, medium kick, medium rocker. This one skated really nice too. Lots of chips and lots of pressure cracks though. That's because I skated it for so long, it just naturally deteriorated. And then there's this one, the most recent one I got, and I skated it. I think I skated this one for about 4 weeks. It held up pretty well. It was mostly at Wedgwood, so yeah, no razor tail, but chipping apart quite a bit, which naturally happens with any deck for me after 4 weeks. Or at 4 weeks, around then. Natural deterioration. This one came out of the mold how it's supposed to. all over medium shape, medium rocker, medium concave, medium kick, how it's supposed to be from that mold of which it was pressed in. And this one. This was actually the first RTA I got. This was back late summer. And this one I skated for a while. I forget how long I skated this one exactly, but it was driveway skating, so yeah, lots of razor tail, completely razored out. I could actually cut some grip tape with that tail. And some chipping. I think I did skate this one for a while. But these decks, they were really crispy. They were strong. It was really just a good deck in general.
Yeah!